In this diagram below, these two figures, you're going to see angle, side, side, angle, side, side, otherwise known as side, side angle. If you went this way, side, side angle, side, side angle, congruent in two triangles. But however, the triangles themselves are not congruent, even though those individual side, side angle are congruent. So side, side angle is not a valid method for proving two triangles congruent, as we had discussed. Side, side angle, otherwise known as angle, side, side. Okay, now it does work for the special case of right triangles, and I'm going to show this in the next slide. But and it says where the right angles are the non-included angles. So what they call this is hypotenuse leg, because what you have is the right angle and then one of the legs and then the hypotenuse. Or you could have it right angle and then one of the legs and then the hypotenuse. Okay, since the right angle is between the two legs, then it's going to be always the non-included angle that you have. Okay, in a right triangle, the side opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse. It's only called that when it's a right triangle. It is the longest side always. And in fact, you'll learn that the longest side always is across from the largest angle. And since this has to be the largest angle, since it's total of 180, if this is 90, that means these two have to split the other 90, and they will definitely be smaller than 90 each. Okay, so this largest angle is across from the largest side, the hypotenuse. These two sides that make up the right triangle, or the right angle rather, are the legs. Got it? Okay, so you can prove that two triangles are congruent without having to show that all corresponding parts are congruent. Here we're going to prove two right triangles congruent using a pair of right angles, a pair of hypotenuses, and a pair of legs. I'm going to show you something on the next slide that we went over in an earlier lesson that should really highlight this for you. What you see here are two isosceles triangles, and they are identical triangles. And what you see is two sides congruent, and as a result, and this is something that you'll learn later, the opposite angles or base angles are also congruent. Okay, so this is just true about isosceles triangle. If you have two sides congruent, their opposite base angles are congruent. So these are the same two triangles down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into two smaller triangles. Okay, watch what I'm going to do here. We're going to split this like this into two smaller triangles. Okay, so what we have is this smaller triangle on the left and this smaller triangle on the right. Now, notice what we know about these. Since this side is reflexively congruent to itself, yeah, then what we have here is angle, side, side. Angle, side, side, otherwise known as side, side angle. If we're going around and naming the things that we know a side, then we know a side, then we know an angle. Congruent on both, okay, since this is reflexively congruent to itself. But are these two triangles congruent? No, they are not. Clearly, this one is different than this one. But they do have an angle, side, side congruent. So angle, side, side, otherwise known as side, side angle, is not enough to prove congruence. However, if they are right triangles, watch what you get. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop this right here. And what you get now, since those are right angles, we have now essentially angle, angle, side, okay, because we get the same angle here as we do here. When this drops straight down, splitting this 180-degree straight angle into two 90s, we then get angle, angle, side congruence, and that is a legitimate thing, okay? And these then are identical. In fact, what we will eventually learn later is that for a triangle like this, an isosceles triangle, if you drop this altitude straight down so that it's perpendicular to the base, and perpendicular means forming 90-degree angles, then you will also get this true, where those two portions are congruent, okay? And we know that this is reflexively congruent to itself, and through the third angles theorem, we know that is. So when you have a right angle there, we are going to get congruence between those two triangles. And essentially that's what you saw on the last slide rather. So now we know that hypotenuse leg works. And if I was to erase these marks and just go back to what we had, we would see that these are right triangles now. And what you have is the hypotenuse, this side right here, and one of the legs, in this case, this leg right here, because it's reflexively congruent to itself. We have hypotenuse leg, and that's enough to prove congruence. So then here is the formal write-up of this theorem, okay? If the hypotenuse and the leg of one right triangle are congruent to the hypotenuse and leg of another right triangle, then the triangles are congruent. We know that they are right angles, and we have the hypotenuse congruent and a leg congruent, so therefore the triangles themselves are congruent, okay? What are the conditions that need to be met for this, okay? To use this, you have to have these conditions. They are two right triangles, and we know that the hypotenuses are congruent, and we know that there's one leg on each that are congruent, one pair of congruent legs. So here we have this situation of a basketball net mounted to the backboard, and you can see that these two supports here and here, and this middle section, if we were to now connect them, these are congruent, and if we were to connect those right here to make this side and drop this CD segment here, we would have this. What do we know? What can we do? Well, here's the given problem. On the basketball backboard brackets that are shown below here and then again here, you have angles ADC and BDC are right angles, and side AC is congruent to side BC. Are these triangles congruent? Well, what can we do in order to prove that? Well, how can we visualize these? Okay, so you can imagine the right triangles as this being cut along here, obviously, so then that and that are the two right triangles, because this is a 180-degree straight angle, so if this is 90, then this is 90, a linear pair that adds to 180. If one's 90, the other's 90, okay? And they share this side reflexively between them. So, given that those are right angles, we know that we're dealing with right triangles. Okay, the hypotenuses are congruent because they tell us that. And we know that they have this common leg of CD or DC. And therefore, by hypotenuse leg, hypotenuse and leg are congruent on the two right triangles. Then we have this triangle congruent to this triangle by hypotenuse leg theorem. Yep. So here's your got it problem. And oops. Yep, see how you do with this. Now, of course, you'll need to use this in proofs. So writing a proof here, we know that segment BE, this right here, bisects this segment AD right here at that point C, okay? We also know that AB is perpendicular to BC. That means it's forming a right triangle. And DC is perpendicular to EC. That means it's going to form a right triangle. We also know that segment AB is congruent to segment DE, or side. Yep. And we're going to prove this. Now, prove that the two triangles are congruent. Now, where do we get started? How do we get started? We need to identify the hypotenuse of each right triangle and prove that they are congruent. Well, notice that it says that this segment BE is bisecting this side, or this segment AD right there at C. And that's the key to it, because what do we have then? Since it bisects it, we know that by the definition of an angle bisector, or of a segment bisector, AC is congruent to DC. That means that these two hypotenuses on those two triangles are congruent, okay? We also were given that those were perpendicular, and therefore we can then say that those angles are right angles by the definition of perpendicular lines, okay? Saying that they're perpendicular leaves us with the task that we need to state explicitly that those angles are right angles. And now we know that these triangles are right triangles by definition of a right triangle. If it includes a right angle, it's a right triangle. Once we know that, and we also know that AB is congruent to side AB is congruent to side DE because that was given, we now can use all of that information and the hypotenuse leg theorem to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC. Okay? Write a proof for this one given this information. All right, take what you know and apply them to these lesson check problems. Good luck.